So if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I'm a pretty big fan of Ghostek headphones. I've used their SoDrops, the SoDrop 2.0s, and this thing on my head is the Ghostek Rapture. I was very impressed by the original SoDrops as they did sound better than most of the beats that I tried. I was equally as impressed by the SoDrop 2.0s. So what do I think about the new Ghostek Rapture? In short, it is a better product than the SoDrops, but if I had to choose, I would stick with my SoDrop 2.0s. I'll elaborate in a bit. The Rapture is one of Ghostek's newer headphones, and Ghostek went all out and decided to use graphene in the headphones, and from my understanding, commercial use of graphene is still a little limited, so Ghostek is on the forefront in that regard. Now, the 13-second explanation of why graphene is special when it comes to speakers, with your traditional speakers, these are the SoDrop 2.0s that Monty's wearing, the membrane is moved up and down. Sound is created through magnetic fields, so the entire membrane actually physically moves in order to create that sound. With graphene, instead of having magnets move the membrane to create sound, the graphene is actually cooled and heated using electrical current. So it's a lot more efficient and it's apparently more accurate. And in my mind, I was trying to understand how this all works. It's kind of comparing, cooking on the campfire and cooking on an electric stove. Cooking on the electric stove is definitely going to be easier. The end result is generally going to be the same. You'll be able to cook food, but one is just going to be way more efficient. It's the same thing, I think, when it comes to graphene speakers and regular speakers. I had to do a triple take on the Rapture sound quality because I wasn't used to having options when it came to sound. I'll elaborate after I get through all the minute details out of the way.
Real usage, real reviews. Mobile Reviews, A.ca.
At Mobile Reviews, Monty and I base all our reviews on actual usage, so we generally don't regurgitate marketing fluff. Actually, we very rarely regurgitate marketing fluff unless we find it is actually true. So we'll actually take the time to figure out how the products work in our everyday lives. And with the Raptures, it's been different in the way that we've had to relearn how to use headphones. And I'll elaborate on that in a few minutes. So in terms of technical details, both the SoDrop 2.0s and Rapture uses Bluetooth 4.0 and 4.1, which means you're kind of constrained to a wireless range of 30 feet. This will work well for most work areas, but it's nowhere near the 100+ foot range of Bluetooth 5.0, which can be found on the newest iPhones. When it comes to battery power, the standby time of the Rapture is 1,000 hours with a talk time of 25 hours and music listening time of 23 hours. SoDrop only has a talk time of 14 hours and listening time of 14 hours as well, with a standby time of 540. Now, is graphene responsible for this large difference in battery power? Maybe, but I do have to point out that the Rapture weighs an extra 60-ish grams, which could be because of a bigger battery. Now, for the last 5 weeks, I've been swapping between the SoDrops and the graphenes, and I have noticed that I charge the Rapture way less than the SoDrops. Sound pressure level is higher on the SoDrops, so if blowing out your eardrums permanently is your thing, go with the SoDrop 2.0s. Impedance on the SoDrop is lower at 32 ohms, which means generally the sound quality won't be as good, if that's what impedance actually does. It is, from my understanding. I could be wrong. When it comes to design, the Rapture looks a bit more luxurious than the SoDrop 2.0s. The arms of the Rapture are covered entirely of metal, whereas in the SoDrop 2.0s have a piece of metal glued to plastic. Both sets of headphones fold easily into a smaller package, with the SoDrop fitting into a nice hard shell case and the Rapture going into a leather-looking bag. The Rapture also comes with a Share Me feature, which I was unable to use since I didn't have a second Share Me compatible set of headphones. Share Me basically allows you to daisy chain a pair of Bluetooth headphones to a single device. That generally sounds like a great idea, but I'm not sure how prevalent it will be since Bluetooth 5.0 is said to have that ability built in. The biggest difference between the SoDrop 2.0 and Rapture headphones is the fit of the ear cups. The Rapture is an on-air pair of headphones, while the SoDrops, I will consider them over the ear. This difference is why I would gravitate to the SoDrops over the Raptures. I will actually wear the SoDrop 2.0s for hours at a time without having my glasses hurt me or hurt my ears. I can go for at most an hour with the Rapture, and this is very frustrating over time because I hate being interrupted while I work. I tolerate being interrupted to go to the bathroom or having to eat or having to say hi to my wonderful infant son, but having to break my concentration because my ears hurt is so annoying. But on the days where I'm wearing eye contacts instead of glasses, which is about once a week when wall balls are programmed at my gym, I generally have no issues with the fit of the Rapture. The fit of this product on my head is the reason why I will gravitate towards the older product. So when it comes to sound quality, because of the graphene drivers, the Rapture is supposed to sound better, right? It took us a while to figure out whether it did or not. I actually did a test with my family members. I paired the SoDrops to an iPhone 8 Plus and the Rapture to a iPhone 10, and I asked them to listen to the same song and just keep swapping between the two headphones. And actually, everybody ended up picking the SoDrop 2.0s, which was kind of surprising. I ended up picking up the SoDrop 2.0s because the music did sound better, or the song that I was listening to did sound better with these headphones. So there was a couple things that was consistent through all the responses, was that the headphones felt a little more comfortable and the sound sounded fuller. And most of that is because of the design. These are over ears, whereas this is on ear, in my opinion. The SoDrop 2.0s are designed more for heavier bass music, and so I think that bass also added kind of to the fullness of the sound, coupled with the over ear design. So when is the Rapture better than the SoDrop? And it makes it sound like I really don't like the Rapture. I had to take a lot of effort and time to actually figure out how much I love the Rapture, we'll say. You're gonna love the Rapture if you're very particular about what your music sounds like. I like to listen to a lot of dubstep, so the heavy bass of the SoDrop 2.0s works well for my listening taste, but on the flip side, I also like to listen to a lot of acoustic music. And after spending a lot of time between the two headphones, I do have to say that the Rapture does sound better, as long as you take the patience to make it sound better. At the end of the day, is it worth the extra $30 between the two products? I would say so, if you could keep it on for more than an hour at a time, unlike me. Now, why do I say it's worth the extra $30? Because you can really fine-tune what your music sounds like, and it makes a big difference if you take the time to play around with the equalizer on your smartphone or laptop. When I first used the SoDrops, I had a kick rediscovering old favorites because they sounded so much better through the SoDrops. It's kind of the same with the Rapture. I've been rediscovering my old favorites because being able to hear a big difference when I set the equalizer setting to acoustic and listening to Seth Meyers sing Nothing Else Matters is just phenomenal. It just sounds great. It really sounds like I'm right beside the guitar. The same song doesn't sound bad with the SoDrops, but that extra bass really takes away from the higher registers of the song. But none of this really matters if all you do is listen to bass heavy music. So if that's you, save yourself $30 and get the SoDrop 2.0s. So it took me a lot of effort to really appreciate better sounding speakers. And you know, I kind of parallel it to an article that I was reading about the F-35. I'm a Canadian, so I don't know if my government's actually going to buy them or not, but that's not the point. And the article is about the F-35 being a poor performing aircraft. And whether it is or not, I don't know, but the article the person who wrote the article interviewed a bunch of pilots, and they were saying that the people who flew the F-35 didn't know how to fly because it's such a different airplane. Everything is more sophisticated. I don't know what the technical details are, but the thing that stood out about that article was that the younger pilots who were going to be training in the F-35 who had never flown, you know, any of the older airplanes will not know the differences, right? Older pilots are trying to fly the F-35 like an older airplane. Same way for me is I was trying to listen to the music with the SoDrop 2.0s, or trying to listen to the music with the Rapture like I would with the SoDrop 2.0. So being a little more sophisticated, taking a step back and just kind of eliminating how I used to do things and approaching it with a different manner made me appreciate the SoDrop 2.0s. I'll make another parallel. I really enjoy cooking. You have to cook your own food in order for you to lose weight, and you know that the saying that abs are made in the kitchen, they really are, and in order for abs to be made in the kitchen, you need to be able to stomach the food that you cook. And so with this, to parallel the comparison between the SoDrop 2.0s and the Ghostek Rapture is that, you know, this is just salt and pepper. With the Raptures, this is salt, pepper, paprika, cumin, oregano, thyme. Like, you're adding all these other spices to your food, and it just kind of improves the quality of your meals. Whereas in like salt and pepper does the job, you know, most of the times, but you want to take it up a notch, you know, oregano, thyme. This is the same thing with the Rapture. Everything just sounds just a little bit better if you take the time to adjust the settings. Now, with all that being said, the fact that I can't use it for more than an hour at a time is a big deal breaker for me. Sure, the product is better, but if I can't use it in my general life, then what's the point? It's like going back to my spices example. It's like getting indigestion every single time I use anything other than salt and pepper. Sure, the food tastes better, but then I'll spend 3 hours on the toilet. Like, that parallel is kind of why I still prefer the 2.0s. So if Ghostek would be able to put graphene speakers in the SoDrop design, oh, I'd be incredibly happy. That's all I got. If you have any questions for me, leave them down in the comment section below. Ghostek was awesome enough to send me these headphones. I have to do give them props, but did not compensate me for any of the time that I spent doing this review. So if you're planning on getting stuff through Amazon, consider going through my links. It doesn't matter what you get, as long as you use my links, and I'll get a small commission so that I can do more videos in the future. I think that's all I have. Thanks for watching. Oh, you're getting so scraggly and grody. He's getting a haircut next week.